Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Money Cure. I'm your host, Sean Grant. So happy and excited to be here with you. It's been a while since I did an episode of this podcast, the Money Cure, that is. But truth of the matter is, I've been discovering that I have been in a position to really not only expand but transform my truth about money, right? About the concept of money, about what money means, about what it entails as it relates to me and as it relates to every single person on this planet in this universe. Okay, so before I get into what you read on the title and why you're here, I want to let you in on something. The truth of the matter is, when it comes down to self-realization and self-awareness, it's really geared upon growth, right? And that growth basically comes so you can have the ability to recognize and realize who you are authentically. And when you do that, when you recognize your authentic self, when you awaken as the popular term goes, you begin to see things with the veil pulled down from over your eyes. And money was one of those things. Okay, so before I get into this and explain what I mean, I want to just let you know that if it flies over your head, just kind of give it some thought. Let it marinate, right? Because it had to marinate for me first before I really understood what was being conveyed to me from a divine consciousness standpoint. And when I tell you, it absolutely blew my mind, and it has the ability to free you. Like when you know it, right? Not even believe, but know and trust in it. This has the opportunity to free you from all strain and struggle as it relates to your financial arena. Okay? And it is my desire to give that to you. Why? Because the whole part of having money is being able to live your life in the way that you choose and desire to live your life, right? That's all that counts. Like, that's the only reason we have money, especially in the Western world, so we can do what we love, create what we love, and use money to amplify it, right? It's not there for us to be greedy. It's not there for us to manipulate and use other people as slaves because of money. Money was not created for that. See, and the beauty is, man created money to separate himself from his own likeness, other men, other women, when in actuality, God, Spirit, uses money to allow people to express more of themselves as God. So see, no matter what hijinks man is up to, God is always 10 steps ahead, right? He's always 10 steps, probably more like a million steps ahead. But all in all, let's get into this thing. Money's not real, okay? Money is not real. And why isn't money real? Well, I can tell you, because starting off, if you approach money in a third dimensional manner, you are inviting struggle to come into your life, right? You're inviting struggle to come into your life. And I'll give you a few examples of how that works. You're going to struggle in one of these few ways I'm about to give to you. If you treat money as if it's real on a third dimensional level, you're either not going to make enough of it, which is going to drive you insane, You're either going to fall into a category where you make so much of it, but you're so afraid of losing it that it's going to cause you to struggle and it's going to cause you pain, right? Or you're going to get so disgusted with the idea of making money on a third dimensional level that you're just going to dismiss it and, deny it and become indifferent, which will cause you pain, and those are the three reasons as to why people struggle financially. And so there's actually like a 3A in there that I'm going to throw in here right now. When you experience any of those, what tends to happen? You build attachment to money, right? You build attachment because then you feel like, well, God damn it, I can never make enough, right? But the universe is set up to where anything you become attached to, it's pulled away from you. I'll say that again. Anything you become attached to is pulled away from you because the universe does not desire you to be attached to anything because nothing outside of you is real. It's all illusion. It's all a mirror to your consciousness, which I'll get to here in a bit. But it's all a mirror, right? The universe is consistently saying, come on, fool. I'm talking about myself mostly. Go within, go within yourself. That's where the true wealth is. How many times I have to tell you, pop, pop, pop. The true wealth is inside you. The true wealth is in your source that you are, right? Stop chasing this physical green paper. It doesn't work like that. It does not exist. The universe told me this time and time again. And what happens? I finally start to get it. Like, I'm finally starting to understand. But before I would say, oh, you know what? Let me go after this green paper. Ignoring it when the universe itself expressing through me is urging me. And, it's not calling me fool or anything like that. That's just my expression of it. But it's kind of funny to think about. It's urging me to know that when I decide to go within, when I decide to connect to my true, authentic self, my divine self that is rooted in truth, that's when I become my wealthiest, right? And what's great about it is I don't need any amount of money, physical money, to show me that I'm wealthy. So what does that mean? That means that you run into a place where all of a sudden your cash flow is not as fluid as it once was. You still know your greatest form of wealth is your source within you, your authentic self. And then there's nothing to worry about, right? Once again, the problem gets in when people begin to believe in the Bible. Once again, I think I said this the other day, the Bible talks about either worshiping God or worshiping mammon. Everybody worships something, right? And it's going to be one of those two things. And all mammon is basically everything physical, everything that's part of the illusion. Worshiping God is just worshiping love, making love your priority, making the divine your priority. And so you have to choose. And when you choose, you begin to discover the reality of it all. So I have been in a position with money in every single financial position possible. Lots and lots of money, negative amounts of money, in the middle, struggling with money, flourishing with money. Like, thank God to the universe, I've had the opportunity to do this even before I realized the truth that I know now. And this is how I was able to learn that when you're coming from a 3D level with money, you will incur some of the strongest struggle possible because, once again, it's rooted in attachment. Everything on the third dimension is rooted in attachment. Why? Because it's dense. It's dense. You can't from third dimension, you don't see stuff as the energy that it is from the fourth and fifth dimension. You see it as these solid objects. And then all of a sudden, if it goes, your confidence goes with it. Your confidence goes with it. Perfect example, you've heard it before, is the lottery example, right? And here is why. It's more of an energetic consciousness type thing that causes people to suffer with the lottery. I mean, heck, even my own family had a situation like this. And it just basically goes, people who have a third dimensional consciousness receive a large, enormous sum of money, and the energy or the consciousness that they're in doesn't match up, right? Can you imagine trying to navigate in a 5D world with a 3D consciousness? What's going to happen? Struggle, pain, mistakes, sabotage, fear, attachment. All these things come up when these people who are on who's on the lower level of consciousness get all this money and they don't know how to navigate because it's just not in their vibrational field to do so, right? And that's because their impression is money, physical money is real. I need to hoard it. And hoarding anything, relationship, job, anything you chokehold attached to, what did I just say a few minutes ago? The universe takes it back. Takes it away from you. Like it moves away because nothing can be possessed in the universe. You can only be stewards of it, but you can't possess it. The moment you attempt to possess something, it's going to move away from you or you're going to experience pain. One of those two things are going to happen, right? And you can accept it now and go into things knowing that, or prepare yourself to be in pain because pain is love. The universe wants to teach you how to get it right, okay? So now that we know, we spent 12 minutes basically saying why the universe is pain. The universe is pain. Why money isn't real. Let's get into how you can transcend limitation and how you can make the most of basically being financially healthy, because that's what it comes down to. Now, this is going to vary with different people, right? Some people will make millions. Some people will make a few thousand. Some people make tens of thousands. Some people make hundreds of thousands, right? But the idea is to be financially healthy. And financially healthy only means being financially at peace because you're at peace in yourself from the consciousness of divine, from being your true self. That's all that means, okay? Doesn't matter how much you have, your true wealth, once again, is your source, right? So basically, we want to get you financially healthy. And how do we do that? Recognizing the divine as your source. Recognizing that your true self is your source. And also knowing that as far as spirit goes, which is your true self, soul, whatever you want to call it, there is no such thing as lack. There's no such thing as struggle. There's no such thing as not enough when it comes to all things divine. It's just impossible. Like, life cannot be anything other than abundance. Okay? Life cannot be anything other than abundance, because if life is anything other than abundance, then there's a glitch which in the system that's actually perceiving the lack. And you know who that system is? That's you. If there's lack in your life, that means there's a glitch. You're perceiving lack in your life, which lack can't be real unless you decide to make it real by perceiving it. Because the only reason why everything is real is because you're perceiving it, right? Life mirrors our consciousness. So whatever you perceive is real. That's why they say perception is reality, right? Okay, so getting to what you're perceiving. And this really helped me to rise higher with money as it related to me. And it's one of the most amazing things. And I just love it. It helped me so much. And I know it'll help you as soon as you understand it. Don't allow it to fly over your head. But when it comes to finance, when it comes to money, and it comes to money showing up in your life, money is just a byproduct of the amount of consciousness, Christ consciousness, divine consciousness, true self that you allow into your being. It's just a byproduct of that. Okay? I heard that some time ago, but I didn't get it. I didn't really get it the first time, but now I finally get it. It's a byproduct. Okay? What's a byproduct? A byproduct means if you get this, you'll have this, right? If you get that, you'll have that. And so you might be wondering, well, how does this work? So basically, you realize the truth of who you are, which you are God. In, through, around, everything. You are God. You don't only believe this, but you know it. What happens? All of a sudden, your vibration skyrockets, right? Your vibration skyrockets. And in living in truth, everything that isn't truth starts to fall away, right? Like everything that doesn't vibrate with truth begins to dissolve. And abundance is completely resonant with truth. So guess what? It means that abundance has to show up, has to manifest itself in every area of your life, in every area of your existence. So what does that mean? That means that you're going to have an abundance of finances for everything that you need, right? Because you're in truth now. And if you're in truth, truth cannot be lacked. Spirit cannot be lacked. God can never lack anything. Once again, if you're perceiving lack, there's a glitch in your system. You've got to get that glitch out, right? It's usually like a faulty emotion or something like that that's causing you to see lack where there's only abundance. And if you can't physically see the abundance, you know what you do? You go within. You go within, you see the abundance there, and I guarantee you the situation will turn itself around into where you can perceive abundance, right? Anytime something attempts to show you lack in your life, you tell yourself through truth, I can only perceive abundance. And you allow that to resonate. You allow yourself to feel that. As a matter of fact, go down for 5 or 10 minutes and just focus on it. But focus on it with the feeling of truth trumps everything, right? Truth trumps everything. Who knew this the most and the best? Jesus knew this the most and the best. Buddha knew it. Krishna, all these avatars. Jesus, more importantly, Jesus would walk around saying, I am the truth, the way, and the life. Right? I am the truth, the way, and the life. And he wasn't talking about him as a person. He was talking about the Christ consciousness, as it's so infamously called, that allows him to not really even be affected by the third dimension. Because when you know that perfection is your life, no matter what happens, perfection is going to support that conscious believing, that conscious knowing, and it's going to project it out into your existence, right? And it never fails. It never fails, right? So this is the way to truly be financially free, but basically just have freedom in general, right? Financial freedom has nothing to do with the amount of money in your account, the amount of money in your pocket, the amount of money that you have on you or anywhere accessible. Financial freedom has everything to do with your recognition of yourself as the truth, as a divine truth. as God. And when you know it, not only believe it, when you know it and you can trust it, effortlessly, this will show up in your life. Situations will be miraculously turned around, right? You're living in truth. You can see something where you think, uh-oh, I'm lacking. And then you turn around, wait a minute, no. In truth, I can only perceive abundance. And I know this. I trust this. I believe this. I'm going to stick with it. And guess what? Truth trumps everything. Truth unfolds, right? Truth unfolds and allows you to step in to living more truth. And the more you live it, the more it's going to affect every area of your life, because that's what it does. And it has no concerns. It moves with ease. It's pure peace, freedom, love, joy, and happiness without doing anything. Just being. It has all these components. Imagine that. Imagine making more money as a byproduct by working less, but focusing more on your Christ consciousness. Basically recognizing it and allowing it to permeate all of your life. Imagine that. Okay? So in closing, remember, money's not real. If you find yourself running after money on a third dimensional level, stop yourself, take a step back. Go within. Know that your source is the true abundance. Your source is the true wealth. And money will show up as a byproduct of that. I guarantee you, I'm living it. It'll come in the most mysterious ways, but you'll be happy that it comes and it shows up. And it is just one of the most beautiful ways to live your life. So trust me on this one. I promise you, if you follow it, if you embrace it, if you learn to love it, it will pay off, literally and figuratively. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. It has been a pleasure, as always. We'll talk soon. Take care.